Good evening, family. Welcome to our week 13th. Glory goes to our Almighty for our well-beings and for this platform. May He open our minds. May He speak through our lips, through our voices, and through our spirits. In Jesus' name, amen. Family, here we are again, where we gather as one family, engage on different topics that affect and influence our well-beings or a challenge to our respective journeys, where we let our respective spirits speak through us. Family, we lose and waste a lot of our energies trying to sugarcoat things. Maybe it's about time we call a thing a thing. It's all in the mind and in our tongues. Some things get sent to our spirit, but we think more of the next person. How is she or he going to feel or say or think of us? At times, you'll find that the very same person is actually waiting for you to call it what it is. We are all tangled in our little corners with our little issues, that by calling it what it is, we save a life, yours or the person that you're trying to protect. Lacking to communicate our status quo family without any apology or ambiguity. So we cause a lot of anxiety to self, force our system to shut down and fall into depression and even self-mental destabilization. Family, it's about time. It's about time that we declare victory, success, magnet of positive things in our lives. But let's start by not mincing our words. Be true to self and those around us. So family, let's term this process a thing. Call a thing a thing. What is it that you find disturbing or challenging or even seem impossible to call it what it is? Family, please allow me to pause here, and then we engage further on what makes you unable to communicate what it is in your spirit, that it's in your heart, in our minds, that blocks us from calling it what it is. Let's engage, let's share. This family, it's about sharing, about talking, about engaging, about calling it what it is. So anyone that might want to start and share what makes you unable to call it what it is. You may raise your hand and I will unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, and let's engage. Anyone that may want to start? You know, from my end, I'm one person that is gifted in calling it what it is. At times I get into trouble in not mincing my words, in just saying it as it comes to my spirit or as I say it. And but that leaves me very peaceful in my spirit, in my soul. And I know some people, they become very restless about what one has said, but eventually some they see the picture of what I meant or what I mean when I say exactly what it is. while we're still gathering our spirits, while we're still finding our footing and thinking about it. Because you're still thinking about it instead of talking about it. It is exactly what the topic is about today. And that you're still thinking about it instead of just saying it as it is, as it comes to your spirit, as it comes to your soul, as it comes into your mind. We're still trying to gather it in a certain way so that it comes in a certain particular way, not the way it comes to your mind, not the way it's communicated to your mind. And the message get mixed up in the process of trying to sugarcoat it. Anyone? Normalizo, this is a tough one for me today. Can we hear why is that? I'm not sure whether it's a clap of a hand or you're raising it.
I'm sorry. I was trying to greet everybody.
Oh, okay.
It's a tough one. I don't know if it's something I've ever thought about, or I've ever, I don't think it's something I've really ever thought about. So it's even tough for me to, like, as you're saying that we're still gathering our thoughts, it's still even a bit difficult for me to gather my thoughts around that, because I'm not even sure where to start.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying it's a tough one. I'm not sure what to share based on what, based on the topic.
Okay. It's like when, for example, somebody comes to your house uninvited or as a guest, as a visitor, and he starts opening a fridge and or let's say he takes a bottle of your favorite wine and start drinking it. And how do you communicate that? How do you allow your mind, you let it go and you allow it to happen and you burn inside, or you express yourself, you find a way of expressing yourself, and or you let the situation be, and once the person is gone, you start talking about it and you start stressing about it, or you even burn inside while the person is there and the person is enjoying your wine. And you're the one who's not really enjoying it, and because you're not expressing it, you're not calling it what it is. It's, hey, friend, or my cousin, or sister, or somebody, I love that wine, so actually don't open it, and then so I can get another one, or something. So what do you say? Do you hold back? Do you let it be? Do you burn inside? Do you hold back? That is what is calling it a thing, calling it to what it is.
Okay. I normally burn inside. Like I've never, up to this point, I don't think I've ever been somebody who, I'm not sure whether I would say I lack courage, or I've just never been able to express courageously, like the example that you gave. So I don't know, my immediate reaction is always just to burn inside. And then I know once that person has left, I know that then for them to come back, even though I haven't said anything at the moment or at the time that they were doing whatever they were doing, but I know already, which is so maybe by the next time that they want to come back, I don't know, I would think twice about it, but also depending on ish. This is a tough one for me, Shem. I've never been that person. So I've never been. I think I'm only just learning to be able to do that now. But kakhulu is just me not saying anything. And just dealing with myself and my own issues, because then I'd always bring it back to me. You know, I don't have courage. What's wrong with me? You know, that whole negative self-talk, feeling shame and all of that. So that's how it would normally go.
That's exactly what happens with many people, and that's what contributes to all the illnesses that we have. And because we bring a lot of anxiety to ourselves, you know, so people tend to enjoy themselves around us, but we take a lot in, and then and without expressing ourselves. I've been blessed by being able to express myself. I hardly hold back on what I'm feeling, not unless if it's a delayed communication. And then so for whatever reason, so because it also goes with the timing, and then so, but not with the silence, with the timing. So if I feel that the timing, my spirit says this is not the time, but usually I express myself, and usually there and there. And the more you learn to express yourself there and there, the more your spirit communicates with you there and there. And then so you are able to think quick what to say, how to respond to a situation. Unlike when you're still debating it in your soul, debating it in your spirit. Because when you do that, and then so you distract yourself of whatever that is planned for the day, and you allow distractions to actually dominate on that day. Because once there's something that is not right in your spirit, you are unable to attract the right things that you are supposed to attract on that particular day. So that means you get a day, that day gets wasted. And then so, and whatever that was the tasking for the day, it gets mixed up, and in the spirit of feeling, whether it's resentment, whether it's hate, whether it's whatever thoughts that are happening in your head while the person enjoying at your expense. Yes, Nomalizo, you may speak.
Okay, I'm getting it now. But I think to be fair to myself, what I just said, I think the issue is more on saying or expressing myself at that moment. I think that's where the biggest issue is. But I know that definitely once that person is gone, and I've dealt with myself and I've dealt with I've just always been better at communicating in writing. So I think most definitely I would send them a long message or email or whatever, but in writing, expressing whatever it is that I needed, maybe I should have expressed as the thing was happening. So, yeah.
And then that means in that moment, the whole lot of energy has been stolen from you. And then so,
yes. I just watch them, I'll be, I don't know, sweating or whatever, literally.
Yep.
So yeah, which is not a good thing. actually.
No, it's not. You know, so with me, I even pause whatever I'm doing to just deal with that moment. And then and once that moment is gone and I'm back into action. So when something comes to my spirit and disrupt me or disturb me, and I deal with it, and then you know, and move on and go back to the plan of that day. I actually really don't allow anything to disrupt me or disturb my spirit. And if you don't like what I just said, you are most welcome to come back to me and express that, and we're able to move on. So, but if you're still holding what I said to you, it becomes a challenge for you, not for me, because with me, I've passed, I've expressed myself, I've said what was distracting me, and I'm able to move. And I've always been like that, and I found it very healthier. And I think that's one of the things that makes me be able to smile all the time. So because I love putting a smile on my face. It doesn't matter whether I was crying in the house or I'm crying even at that moment, but I always wear a smile. And it's not a pretending smile. So it's the genuine true smile. I always find it's yes, evening sis Kuku. Reading your message, and I hope your network is good today. Anyone else that wish to share? Okay, so far so good, sweet smiles. And one family member has apologized today. She's busy with her work stuff, and iPhone won't be able to join us today. And she has apologized. And I think we're going to have a short evening unless there is someone that wish to express. We've been having a very hectic week. Yes, normally, so you may speak, sis.
No, I just wanted to say that, but also just to be fair to ourselves.
Mm.
I think, you know what I realize, which is the more we do this work of healing, the more I see that so many things. I mean, that's what you realize, that so much of what we do and believe and think we are is so unconscious.
Yeah.
Like there's a point where even with this topic, like I can be so very hard on myself, but at the same time, I know which I am the way that I am because this is what I know. This is how I was brought up. This is, like it's not entirely my fault. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes I think we become so hard on ourselves. And for me personally, I'll always bring things back to me and think that like I was saying, that there's something wrong with me. But there isn't.
Yeah.
It's just that it's the situation I found myself in. It's my environment, it's society, it's sorry that there's noise in the background. It's everything that has made me the person I am. So just to be sometimes very gentler with ourselves and to learn this thing, like this is something I will have to learn, but very gently with myself. Because yeah, like I'm saying, there's a point, man, where it's not entirely my fault. It's really not entirely my fault. So yeah, so even for this, what we're talking about and the example that you gave and my own scenario, when I sit down with it, there's a root, i-root yakhona ikona somewhere, but kahle kahle, it's not entirely from me.
Mm,
I don't know if that even makes sense.
It does make sense. Remember, one of our topics that we said, it doesn't have to make sense to the next person, so long as it makes sense to you. And, you know, since we change the way we speak, I found it that we need to get into more of these simple topics, but, or the topics that they look simple, but they're not. And then so, and those are the topics that are actually holding our spirits. I think when we started our family sessions, and then so we started them with what is happening around us and all that, but which was not wrong. And now it's more about our daily lives, and that we don't pay much attention about these simple things that affect our lives, that affect our thinking, that affects who we are, and or who we need to become. We were born into certain different situations, and to unlearn a number of things, it's extremely difficult. And it goes with your surroundings, and worse if you are still in that situation. And then so let's, for example, if you are born into a certain family with certain values, certain cultures, and certain beliefs, and etc. And then so if you're still living with the same family, with the same community, it's not going to be easy for you to actually grow or come out of a certain situation. Maybe with me, it's because I moved, and I've been moving, and you know, so to a point, even changing provinces, it has been easy for me to say, when I say I'm done with Joburg and I move, I'm in the Eastern Cape, I'm done with the Eastern Cape, I move, I'm in London, and I'm done with London, I move, and I'm in a different space. And when I feel that, you know, so I'm done with a certain person, I move. I hardly think twice. So it's a matter of, so long as I've calculated, at times it's not even calculated moves, but it's a matter of, if I feel that this is the situation and the person is not going to change from that situation, I change. And if it doesn't suit my, if it doesn't give me peace, I move. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It does hurt, but I believe that at some point it's going to stop hurting. And when it stops hurting, you find peace. And when you find peace, you are able to make any moves.
Please talk us through today.
It looks like it. There are days where certain family members, they just also have a conversation and others are listening. So then it happens.
I also just wanted to listen today, actually. But okay, can we go back to the example that you gave? I just want to get your feel on how I said I would respond. So my not responding in the moment and then responding later in writing, as I said, which is most likely. So what is wrong with that?
There is nothing wrong that much about that, but it's just that between that moment when something is happening, and then so, and the moment where you're responding, and then so there's a wasted energy and time, and something that was supposed to come to you that got delayed by your delaying dealing with the situation. And remember that when your spirit is blocked by certain feeling that is not friendly to your soul, and then so then at that moment, the only thing your mind is thinking of or entertaining, it's the situation. So then that means you cause a lot of anxiety to yourself, and your body reacts to that situation. That means you find you've got a headache, you've got something that is heavy on your shoulders, and then and there's a whole lot that your body is reacting, because you get all these sicknesses because of, it starts in your spirit, it starts in your mind. And once you have that, then you get disturbed. And then so there's a lot that you're supposed maybe to be receiving at that time, and you delay that blessing because you blocked yourself with what you still have to do. But eventually you release it when you express yourself. So you can teach yourself differently. Sorry.
Okay, so in a sense, I can still recover that energy that I lost, but obviously I would have caused myself whatever harm I would have caused myself.
Yes.
But it comes some okay. I mean, because that's the thing, which is like it's like, where does your personality or your character or your natural setting, like I call it that. Like, I know my natural setting is Guti, I'm somebody ongali, somebody othulile, somebody who's introverted, all of that. So now in this scenario, where would I place my natural setting? Because I don't know if I'd say Hulwa is the right word, but maybe that what I call my natural setting maybe is the thing then that you would see as me not doing what I need to do at that particular moment.
Maybe it starts by giving it a name. You're not calling it what it is. You're giving it a name. You're saying you're fighting. And then so you've already identified, instead of a person, there's a person that your guest or your visitor or your sibling or your mother or your father or somebody. And then and takes a bottle of wine and start opening it. And then that is not fighting to say, can you rather wait for me, or can I order this for you, or that bottle is not for consumption today and it's for another day. That is not fighting, you expressing yourself. So then it goes to exactly what I was saying. We think a lot what that person is going to say, is going to feel, instead of just expressing ourselves, and instead of just saying exactly what you're feeling without thinking what is that person's going to say or feel, and entertaining your current feeling. And at times with myself, what I find it, so if I don't express myself there and there, and I find that that feeling is diluted, because again, it's either you hold it back and then keep it in you, so that until you deal with it, and then but it's definitely not going to be the exact feeling that when that happened at that time. Because if it happens after a while, that means you're packing things within. So because if something happens now, the feeling that you're getting now, it's not going to be the same as the feeling that you're going to get in an hour's time or in 5 minutes after. And then so not unless if you're still holding that feeling, so that you are able to express or say something about it. Let's get Lucia as well. Lucia, you may unmute yourself.
Good evening. I hope everyone is well. It's my first time with you guys.
Yes.
Very interesting topic. With me, I think I've got two personalities. Ne? So I would be meeting, and I recently met you, Sis Norm. I'm sure you saw this. I'll be meeting people for the first time, and I'll be very reserved. And that's not, like, I try to observe first, although I have so much things to say, but I honestly I will just hold it back. And later on, I'm like, maybe I should have said that. Maybe I should have put my input there and there. But because I'm meeting you for the first time, I'm still trying to figure out the mood, the type of people that I'm around. But I always find it a bit difficult to express myself immediately, because when I first meet people, they actually think I am introvert, and I'm not. There's this wilderness side of me that really pops out after some time, and then you're like, whoa, what's going on? Is that you? Because you first saw that Lucia that was keeping quiet and being reserved at the back there, but eventually I come out and I want to be in this front row, and I want to rule, and I want to be a driver now. And always a bit difficult for me. I'm like, why do I always do this? When am I going to be able to actually be there like all the time? Why does this personality blocking? It's like it's blocking my energy. Now I'm allowing people to overstep. Sometimes you would say something and I just roll my eyes inside, but I'm thinking, okay, let's just reserve for now. We'll come back to it. But we really don't. I really never go back and say, hey, you remember that first day when we met? You mentioned this and that. Like, how do I then learn to not do that? Because honestly, it's not a nice thing to do. I think I block myself unnecessarily, and it's something that really I battle with. I don't want this thing. Can I just be the real me? Because eventually it pops out, but I'm giving now people the wrong impressions. Like I'm two-faced, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lucia. It goes with experience, and it's like driving. And you get into the car, and you know what you need to do, and but you still start the car. You know exactly that you must start the car and press accelerator or put in the gear, depending whether it's automatic or it's manual, and then the car goes. But then the car will keep on jumping, and until you get it right. And it is exactly like that. And then so you allow yourself to get hurt, and because people are going to respond, so they're not gonna just let it slide, whatever that you say. So and but you learn to live with what people's responses, because they will respond. And then so and you learn to make mistakes. It's like, wow, yeah, maybe I was not supposed to say that. And then so, but once you get it right, your mind it functions very quick. And then so you get into the situation, you read things very quick, and then so and you are able to adjust faster. And then so and I wouldn't say necessarily that it's maybe two-faced. And then so I still do that. There are places that I get into a certain gathering and I read very quickly, and that it's not my space to express myself in a certain way. And then so, and I'll be looked as a person that is quiet, that is reserved, and because I chose to be that person, because it's not my space to actually express myself. That is not being two-faced. That's calculating if it's your space to express yourself. And then so, but if then you get to your space, or a person comes to your space, and with the example that I made of a wine, and takes your wine and you keep quiet, and later when a person has enjoyed himself or herself, and then so and you kill the joy by saying, actually, I didn't like that you took my wine. And it's like a waste of time. So the person has already enjoyed himself or herself. So now why you putting yourself in a situation of be a joy killer? It's already happened. So if you don't want it to happen, so say it there and there. And then so, and you'll find that actually you can enjoy the moment or time together with just music. And then so, and the person will be happy that you actually, so express yourself. And maybe he or she can call you later, so you know what, I actually really wanted to have that wine, but I'm cool with that. And then so, you see, you change the scenario. So then it's not you now calling that person, it's that person calling you, expressing what had happened. And then so, but you are at peace. Your wine is there, you're looking at it. And then so, and now the person drank your wine, it's not there, and you are burning, and the person thought you guys were good, and then so only to find that you are not good. And that's not the right thing to actually later and say, hey, I didn't like 1, 2, 3. Instead of just learning to train yourself to say things as they happen. Maybe you can be calculative on what you say at that time. And then so, but you learn, you'll make mistakes in the beginning. And then so, but the more you grow and the more you attract the right people that will understand what you say. Because at times, it's because maybe you're in a wrong company. That's why you find it difficult to express yourself. You try so hard to live with the people that you shouldn't be living with. Because the right people will understand you, and you'll feel very comfortable in expressing yourself. If you are in a wrong company, you will find it difficult to express yourself. We somehow lost Tabo. He had a question, and possibly it's a network. Any follow-up engagement, Lucia? Yes.
Sorry. Yes, no, it makes perfect sense, Norma. Thank you so much. I think it like you said, I think you first need to label it and actually know exactly what it is, so that it can be then easy, so that you know how exactly to deal with it, because it's there, but now we've been calling it a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we need to actually label it and tackle it and try to be a better person, because I think really it tends to be a bit draining. Always you're trying to reserve yourself. You're always thinking about the next person, thinking, oh, okay, maybe if I say this, I'm going to offend, or I'm going to send the wrong message. But it's what I'm thinking at that moment, it's what I want to say. But now I'm actually thinking about, what is the next person going to think? Am I gonna cross the
line.
correct image?
Yeah.
Or yes, or what's going on? But now I'm reserving myself. Actually, after I've left, you don't even know who was there. It was okay, it was Lucia, but Lucia, who? What does she have to offer? I didn't even express myself to the fullest, because now I'm questioning, and I've got all these things behind about the next person, which I guess I'll never know the answer because I'm not expressing myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you.
And you end up missing an opportunity that was presented to you. I believe that you never at the wrong place. You are placed at that particular moment, at the particular space for a reason. So, but then you go without gaining the reason why you were there, So the universe made sure it connects you with a certain particular person. And it moves, the earth moves. We might not see it, and then so, but it moves, and it moves so fast. And then so, and the moment as well, it does the same. And we keep on missing certain opportunities because we're still thinking, am I being forward in actually taking this opportunity to express myself that way? Am I being forward in asking for water? Am I being forward to ask for a job? Am I being forward to say, you know, to express myself. I'm this type of a person, you know, and we tend to think a lot about those things.
True. No, that is so true. Hey, you really do miss that opportunity. It makes sense. Thank you for this. Actually, it was a great topic.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Yes, Normalizo, I think I'm not sure whether you wanted to speak, so but you yes, you said something after Lucia.
Oh yes, when she mentions that she observes.
Yes.
Yeah, I said I get it completely. I think part of me just not saying anything is that part of me that is just observing, actually. I don't know, just to say what I'm feeling right now. For some reason, I feel there's resistance. I'm feeling a lot of resistance around this conversation today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it's coming from. Okay, now it's reminding me of the last session we had, I think, about wanting to be understood.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
I'm going back to that. Because when I mentioned this, what I called my natural setting, and then even when Lucia spoke and she mentioned that she's sometimes extroverted and sometimes introverted, there's an element to this conversation that makes me want to keep going back to that, to the introversion and the extroversion. Because like I'm saying that I identify as an introvert, honestly. I've tried my whole life, I think, just to make myself extroverted because that's how the world is set up. That's what I believe, that's what I see, that the world is set up for extroverts. So my thing is that I've always been misunderstood because I seem to be on the opposite end of most people. Even at school, I mean, whether we're at school or Sensibenzini, the setup is for extroverts and not introverts. So now it's like whenever I'm being myself as the introvert, and I react in whatever way I react, whether whether I talk to you later, whether I call you on the side and I speak to you quietly, it's like there's something wrong with me. Why am I not expressing? Why am I not being? I feel like I'm being called to always be an extrovert, and I'm not an extrovert. And so this is the thing. It's like, so I think that's where the resistance is. It's like, why am I expected, Mina, to spend my whole life trying to fit into this box that I obviously do not fit into? But then when I'm being myself, but then the other way around doesn't happen. Extroverts are never expected to be introverted. Yeah. But it's always the introverts that are always expected to be extroverts. So I think that's why I'm having this resistance. It's like, why can I not deal with situations, Mina, in the way that I know how to deal with them as an introvert and not be seen as though there's something wrong with me? It's like, I remember even at school, like my report one would always say that I'm antisocial, but that's the setup of the school, it's the extroversion. But nobody would come to my corner and sit with me, the introvert, and want to read with me quietly. So I think this is where my resistance is coming in, and that's why I asked that question even before, like, where do I place this part of me when we are dealing with such situations? So how do I handle it?
You know, with the school, as you said in the beginning, at times it goes with our upbringing, but we get to a point where we choose. You know, at school, it's still not much of a choice. You are told what you have to do, who you have to be, and then so. But then at some point, like now, it's not about being told what to do. It's about choosing the people that you want to associate yourself with. And then so the environments that you want to be. There are environments where you love being around people who talk. You love being around the normas that will be expressing themselves, and you keep quiet. And then so, and they will understand that Nomalizo doesn't speak much. And then so actually she just observes. And then so, and it's a matter of your company, the company that you keep. And if it works for you. And then so then, and artists at times, they express differently. And there are people that, you know, so then they keep quiet. And then the next thing they become more creative. They start drawing, they start doing writing, and you know, a whole lot that, you know, so will come from that situation. And now you start judging yourself from who you are. And you are not demanded to be like Unoma and be this person that speaks, but you put pressure to yourself to be like Unoma. And not because somebody said you must be like Unoma. It's unlike at school. At school, yes, you were demanded to be like any other kids. And then so, but now you are not demanded to be like any other kids. You're not demanded to be like any other woman. You are yourself. And if you are comfortable in your corner and you are at peace, you know, go with what the peace that is around you. And then so any other person that disturbs that peace, let go of that person. You know what I always say, you're a CEO of your own life, and fire and hire. And then so, and fire and hire. So what disturbs your peace, remove it from your space. And then so then people should not judge you for that. I see your hand, no, December. So Numalizo, you can think about that and you can still come back as well. You may speak, Notemba.
Okay, while you were talking, I was trying to figure out which topic I was going to speak about or start with, and I think I kind of forgot which one. So, the first one I want to start with is basically about the two person like being introvert and extrovert. A while back ago, one of my friends mentioned a name called ambivert, and I was like asking, what does that mean? And they explained to me it's when you can be a bit of both. You can be an extrovert and introvert. And I was like, okay, this resonates with me because I am like that. There are some cases where I show like extroverted tendencies, like always trying to be by myself. I don't talk too much. I'm not outgoing and all stuff. And then there are other cases where I switch up again and I'm outgoing. I'm always out and I'm speaking out and then saying what I want to say and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, this actually resonates. I'm an ambivert. That's what I am, because when it comes to the artistic side, like reading and stuff, I want to be in my own space. I don't want anyone to interrupt me. I don't like to talk to people much or do much when I'm in that sort of space where, okay, right now I'm focusing on me. I want to be me. But there's another thing about me is that whenever someone else comes and is like, hey, can we talk? I need your help. Even though my mind is like, I already decided this is going to be my time right now. I don't know how to energy for this. But there's always that need of wanting to help people that kicks in, and I'm like, okay, I can get back to this later. Let me help this person out. And then by the time later comes, I can't do what I want to do now. I have to change from being an introvert and go to an extrovert because that side of me is needed. And then I'm like already tired and I need to like recharge myself so before I entertain other people. But it becomes a thing of saying, it becomes hard to say no. Like, sorry, I can't. I really want to take this time. I want to be by myself. I don't have the energy for this and all that stuff. Like, for example, there's a current situation that I'm in with a person where I tried to help them at first, and then they like weren't taking much of my advice. So I'm like, okay, I distanced myself from them, and I kind of ignored them. And then they text and they message me back, and then they were like, oh, you're ignoring me, why and stuff. And then I kind of found it hard for some reason to express why I was ignoring them. And then I kind of became sugarcoating things and then letting things slide. And then they continue to do whatever they do, and they're like, okay, I should have just like, speak my mind, but for some odd reason it becomes too hard. It's hard for me to do so because now I'm already thinking, okay, I'm gonna hurt this person's feelings and etc. etc. So so yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
call a thing. That's what it is. And that's what you have to start telling yourself. And that I'm practicing calling it what it is. You know, from listening to you, what came to my spirit, it's I remember was at a it was, the place was called YMCA, and then so different rooms and varsity, mainly students that, you know, were staying in different blocks. And I remember one guy, I used to have a certain poster or page, or that's got different places that I go to, like Gone by the Wind, Do Not Disturb, I'm Studying, and whatever. So then, and I will have an arrow, so that within the list of things, and then so you look at the arrow, and if the arrow said I'm studying, so that means Do Not Disturb. If you say Gone by the Wind, I might be in, or I might be gone wherever, and then so, but I'm not around. And then so, and you know, one guy said at the day they were allowed to come to my room, and said, why aren't you like any other, it was the University of Zululand, why you not other university students? I said, like what? You know, so when we come to their space or their rooms, it will be more like, are you studying? And the person say, it will be more like, no, yes, I am, but no, it's fine, you can come in. But with you, you'll be like, yes, I'm studying. So, and you look at that person and like, why are you still here? Because I said I'm studying. So if I'm studying, that means you're not allowed to be here. And if I'm saying I'm busy, and I will not change my mind because you're here and start saying, but it's fine. To me, it's been like that. When I'm saying I'm busy, and I will not stop, not unless if it's really genuinely fine. But then if it's fine, that means I wasn't busy. So it cannot be the two. If I'm studying, and then I will not stop because you're here, and I will say I'm studying, so come back at a certain time. And you know, I separate my times. I think I'm still the same even now. And then so when I'm occupied by something, I focus on that particular thing. And then so, and I will not allow anything else to distract me. And then so, and if I'm busy, let's say for with this session, and then I'll be here in the session. Anything else can wait. And then so, and that's who I am. And that's who I've trained myself to be. And it's not like I was maybe born this way, maybe I was born differently. And then so, but I chose to say, you know, I love my peace, and I enjoy what I'm left with. I enjoy the you know, when I said I don't have a rubbish bin in my heart. And then so I only keep things that are beautiful in my spirit, in my heart. And then so anything else, I don't allow it to come to my space. So if you want to take my wine, I will express it there and there that, you know, I don't like it. And then so please don't take it. And then so, or say, just have a little bit of it, you know. So when I say you are welcome at my space or around me, or I mean it, I will not say you're welcome when you're not. And I'll tell you exactly the way I feel. So I like encouraging any other person to say the way it is. It's a beautiful space to be in, beautiful. So if you love your space, and just tell people that, you know what, I want my moment now, whether any other person loves it or not, whether they feel that, you know, so you're antisocial, so be it. I'm antisocial, but I've got my biz. So why do I have to be like you? Why do I have to talk when I don't want to talk? No one is forcing you to be anything that you are not, except your mother.
I wanted to point that out, but you already have. But yes, that is that. The thought just came and now it has left. but I'm trying to wait for it to come back because I wanted to express it like right then and there, but you're still talking. Okay, yeah, it's basically, it was a, when I do it, when one does express themselves at some point, let's say, like with your example, they're taking the wine out of the fridge and you seeing them, they're about to open, and then they open it, and then you tell them, for me, I want to be direct, like a direct approach. That's I feel like I always go by this method where I say you just rip the bandage off, not sugarcoating it, not missing it. Like you just take it right off. And that's the same advice I always tell my friends whenever they have situations. I'm like, don't tell them, like, don't be too nice about it. Just rip the bandage, like literally just say it with no filter or anything. I always give them the advice. But when it comes to me, it's different and I sugarcoat things. So either I'll end up telling them like, oh no, please don't, it's not, I don't want you to open that, or it's like, oh, that's not mine, or something like that. And then in my head I'm like, please don't touch that, that's mine, I don't want you to touch that, even though I know kind of it's too direct. It's like telling, I feel like it's too rude if I had to say what my brain is telling me to be like, no, don't touch that, please. That's not yours. And I did not allow you to open the fridge to take anything. I would have offered you myself. I would, something like that. That's what in my head and what I feel like I want to say. But I know that it will feel like it's too rude, and I'm suddenly being rude to a guest that I invited into the house. Like when I say, okay, I'm inviting you, and then they do something, now it's kind of like, but you invited me. So yeah, so what can one do in that kind of situation?
There are many ways of dealing with that. And then so, and in expressing yourself, in calling it what it is, you don't have to be rude. And then so you find, for example, and when we on the wine thing, that means it's a white wine if it's in the fridge, or one of the sweet wines. And then so, and for example, and you know the character that you've invited in your space. And then so, and you start by expressing the rules. So from the beginning, one of the rules in this house, do not touch my wine. So you're not being rude, you're expressing upfront, so that when it happens, I said, but I did say one of the rules, do not touch my wine. So, and let people know who you are. And even when we meet the first time, let people know who you are. Express yourself. You are so and so. This is what you like. This is what you don't like. And then so then, and you tell people that when I come to a space, I like observing first. And then so, and but eventually I start talking, so you're learning the characters, you're learning what to say, if it's safe to say that, and stuff. But then maybe it depends on the environment as well. Is it a professional environment? Is it a friendly environment? And then so, and but don't take too long in doing that until you are gone, you are home. You've missed an opportunity while you're doing all this learning and stuff. And you teach your mind to be as quick as possible. And then so, and get in touch with body language, because that's when you in touch with body language, what it means to touch your head, what it means to when a person is looking up, looking at the side, and looking all those things. And then so, and once you know those things, it's easy to actually to read people very quickly. And then so, and you will find that your spirit, when you train your spirit to have a sharp intuition, and it's very easy to learn the characters. And then, but again, why do you care much about the characters instead of caring much about who you? So if you come to 5 different people, when are you going to start talking when you're still learning these characters? Why don't we learn about your character? Why don't you share your character with us? So you're robbing yourself to be known out there. And the likes of our Norma, they will move so fast, they will take over, they will move. And then so, and the next thing you'll be like, I should have. And you end up resenting Unoma because she stole your space. She stole your moment. And it's important to express yourself. And then so if you don't mind, there are moments where you feel, I can live with it. Let me just do it, you know. And then so, and because you're feeling for that person and you allow that thing to happen, but it shouldn't be something that will take too much of your time. If it's a moment thing, and then so you get distracted a bit and you allow it and you deal with it and you come back. But if it steals your peace, anything that steals your peace, anything that steals your moment, it's not good. It's either you let go, it's either you move, you walk away, it's either you deal with it. Be head on with it. It's not going to help you to actually avoid it, because that's when you don't have peace. But with like normally, so in following up with a long letter, you stand a chance that that person maybe might not even read that letter. So then that means that person is still going to repeat the very same thing when he comes or she comes to your space, because the person is like, this long thing, you know. So, and you don't express yourself, or the person, yes, maybe after writing your speech and then so, and you feel better, but you're still going to deal with the same situation because probably the person did not read your message. Because at times you avoid being with people that you have to really put too much time in expressing yourself. I distance myself from such people. And then so if I find that I'm not comfortable in talking when you're around, and then so that means you're not the person that I trust, you're not the person that I want to be in the company of, and then I focus on the reason why I'm there. So if I'm there for a training, I focus on the training and keep quiet, and once I'm done with the training, I go home. And then so, but you know, so I focus at the moment why I'm there. And if it's not a space that I want to be in, I walk.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. Pleasure.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, yeah, but okay, definitely whoever the wine thief is, they're definitely not part of.
Yeah.
They're not part of my group.
Yeah.
Because nobody who knows me would come into my space and do what they do.
Exactly.
So, no.
Exactly. And then so,
you know,
yeah, get people to know you, get people to understand things that, you know. So I remember one point, my father's firstborn, and she's a person that would like to take things, and my cousin was saying she took everybody's things, and she was like, no, I won't take hers, and meaning me. So because she will really express herself. So, you know, even in your absence, so people, because they know that you don't cross the line with this one, you save yourself and from talking. So you save yourself from fighting. You make your point one time and people get it, because it was communicated very clear. That's why I said, you know, on the poster it says communicate with you know, so with no ambiguity, with the firm tone, with the firm, you know. So when you do that, and then so, because there are times when you communicate, I don't like when you do 1, 2, 3. I don't like when you come to the house, you know, so then my wine is sitting there and you're talking long. I said, I love my wine and I love it this way. And this one is here for the next 3 years and no one is going to touch it. You see, you are declaring that this wine is going to sit here for the next 3 years and no one is going to touch it. There's no mincing of words there. And the tone is very clear. I don't like this. Don't touch my hair. When you talk to me, do not touch my hair. Do not touch me. You know, so the communication is very clear.
No, it makes sense.
I love my space. And, you know, so when you love your space, then those who are not comfortable around that, tough luck.
And I guess it's also on how you treat other people that then would teach them how to treat you.
Yep.
In the sense of, if I'm still going to use that example of me being quiet and introverted, because I know that even as a child, even though being I wasn't vocal, I was always quiet, but there was always like Maskula Besbaning at one point, Besbaning in the house. And I would observe with some of the older ones would treat I was part of the younger group, would treat the younger ones in a particular way. But they would draw the line when it came to me because they knew the kind of person that I was, and they knew how I would treat other people, what I would do. It's like they would know when I'm in the space, for example, nobody makes noise. Nobody, you know, because even though I didn't have to express all of those things verbally and always saying it with words. But then what I'm saying is that I guess then now with the kind of person that you are, Jay, that you present yourself as in the world without having to say words, without having to say anything, and how you also treat other people around, then would help you in navigating such situations or whatever situations that you come across.
Yes.
They will help you express yourself, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got a certain energy, and that energy attracts the same energy. You know, you are the magnet of what you want in your life, and then so you choose what is that you want to attract, and then so it's that law of attraction. And you know, so be the person that you want to meet. We just had a load shedding. So you're fine, Lucia. So welcome to this family. This is how we roll here. And we of lately decided, you know, let's take light topic that seem light, but they're about ourselves and about what are we feeling, the real stuff. So, and we just chat, nothing too serious. It's a family talk. And then so, and maybe one day we'll like bring your own a bottle of wine, let's talk and drink at the same time. Let's have that sip coffee, you know, so your water or anything, you know. So it is a family Friday. And then so from 7 o'clock till 8:30. And then so we gather around and we just talk. So you are welcome to our family. And yeah. Okay, I'm good, thank you. And Makugwana, so you've been quiet. Are you all right? Okay, possibly the network again. I think then we can close. Looks like our table was battling with the network today and was unable to speak. And then so, and we may close if there's no one else that wish to say anything. Okay, let's close with prayer. Gugu, are you able to lead us? It looks like she's got a bit of maybe network issues as well, so because she's not connected. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, Lord, for this moment. Thank you, Lord, for giving us this opportunity to together and share our share this platform and share our challenges, and let these moments not be just the talks, but things that we have to go and reflect on and be able to find ourselves and find the peace that we deserve, and be able to express ourselves the way we should be able to say exactly the way we should be able to call it what it is that we're feeling inside you, and be able to do as we're supposed to be doing, so that we are able to serve you, so that we are able to live a purposeful life, so that we are able, because when we do that, when we hold back, and we're holding back to what you want us to do, we're holding back on the day that is given to us, and the day ends without seeing what the day, why you gave us that day, why you gave us that moment. Let us be able to be in touch with our souls, be in touch with our spirits, be in touch with what we need to connect with, and the people that we have to connect with. Let us be surrounded by people that you want us to be surrounded with. Even if it's the wrong people, let us find, why am I close to the person that is wrong? Why am I close to the snake? And then so let me find that moment of understanding what I need to do at that particular moment. And let us be able to learn and unlearn what we should unlearn at that moment. In Jesus' name, I thank you. Amen. Family, I think this is the end of our today conversation. Let's have a good weekend, good evening, good week, until we meet again next week. May you have a blessed weekend, blessed week, until next week, Friday. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.